Hello, Cosmic Family. It's so good to connect with you. And I wanted to share this video simply as like a little life update, as well as sort of an update on the messages that I've been receiving from the Pleaidians, our Cosmic Family, that is really watching closely what is happening and sending energetically so much help, all right? Even though it might not seem like it. For me, the last few months have been a time of nesting and nurturing and preparing a space to bring forth a new star seed on this planet. As some of you know, I usually live nomadically, moving from place to place, which I absolutely love. And this time around, I wanted to find a place that I could be in for longer than just a couple months at a time. And it's been very interesting to make that choice at such a time on planet Earth. And one of the things that comes up a lot is a lot of people message me and say, so what do you think about, where we're headed and how should we live? What's a good way to live right now, or think about what is happening? And for me, the main principle of living life on planet Earth is freedom. All right, freedom is a really, really big part of our experience here. When we truly experience true freedom, all right, at a vibrational level, we are truly uplifted, right? That is what ascension really is, right? It's like when we're really ascending, there's a deep sense of freedom. However, to arrive at this place of freedom, it's a journey, and a journey that takes us through many different places. And a lot of people are hoping in this circumstances that we're in, that if, let's say, we, a lot of people sort of comply and do as they're told with what's happening, what to do with their bodies or whatnot, they're in this place, they're thinking in a place of hope that, if I just do what I'm told, I just hope everything will go back to normal and I'll be one of the people that gets to live normally and gets to live free. But this can be furthest from the truth, all right? Because what's happening right now, these messages were shared with me by the Pleaidians last year. I remember around September, October, and I shared these messages with you, and some people were really thrown back because they're saying, these aren't messages of sunshine and rainbows. They're not just asking us to, bury our head in the sand and just focus on raising our vibration. They're actually asking us to pay attention and to notice that enslavement is very much a possibility if we don't pay attention. And that's exactly what's unfolding now, all right? That's exactly what is unfolding now. In different parts of the world, different people without, the ones that aren't paying attention, really noticing, are being recruited into ushering in this enslavement, all right, into this metaverse, but more on this in a little bit. So it's important to really notice if you are someone who is on an intentional path of ascension, if you are someone who actually wants to live a life grounded in truth, the big truth, with a big T truth, and freedom is part of this, are you actually taking the steps necessary, all right? Or are you one of these people who thinks like, I'm just hoping everything goes back to normal, and this sort of following the rules actually just usually comes from a place of fear. That, I fear this will happen, so I fear that I will be punished, all right, for this, so I better do what I'm told, all right? But there's a difference between fear and urgency, and right now it's a time of urgency. It's not a time to bury our head in the sand and just say everything's going to be all right if I just douse myself with enough oils and read the right cards and drink enough herbal tea, right? No, now's the time to really pay attention to what is happening and to make powerful choices of really saying, how do I want to play moving forward, because the world is shifting, all right, in parallel realities. And there will be those people that will be sort of not just into the metaverse, but really enslaved into the metaverse. And their life they will be just like, as you've watched in the Matrix, these batteries, all right, that will fuel this world, all right? While there will be those who will understand that this world exists, that will participate and play in the metaverse, but they'll understand the power of IRL, of nature, the power of being a biological being, the power of being a human on planet Earth, all right? Because this is where the preciousness is, right? Every day we're sort of bombarded with messages to make us feel bad and guilty and fearful, right? About what we're doing to planet Earth and how we're treating Mother Earth. And yet, when you really look at the ones who are actually doing these things, they're not really taking that much responsibility, but they want us to take the responsibility, all right? And there's so many people living in fear of nature, of living in fear of what we're doing to this planet, of living in fear of you know, whatever is circulating right now, right? Instead of realizing, yes, there is, that's why we chose to come to this planet Earth, because there's so much vibrancy in life. There's so much multitude of experiences. And if we're just buried in this fear, and if we just comply to do things, all right, that compromise our physical health, that compromise our true integrity, that compromise our true freedom, then that's where the real danger is. And a lot of people are submitting to this danger, and there will be consequences to that, all right? And so a lot of things are veiled right now, but chances are, if you're watching this video, then you probably are able to see things a lot more clearly. And there's a lot of conversations that I want to have that I will not necessarily have on YouTube anymore because of the censorship, but we are, there's a small group of people that we've been connecting every month and having these deeper conversations much more openly on private video calls. And I'm setting up that group through Patreon right now, but there's some different platforms that I'm considering as well. So if you're one of those people that you are really getting to see what's up, and you want to connect with other people that see the truth like you, feel free to jump on there. There'll be a link in the description below. But anyways, this is really, really important. And one of the things that is happening, as you very well know, is sort of this division, all right? And I notice this a lot when I pay attention to not just the social media, but you know, relationships between family members now, and friendships, right? People divided over things that they don't realize they're being divided by design, okay? So one of the things that the cosmic family, the Pleaidians, have always shared with me is the importance of relationships, the quality of relationships, and the clarity with which we build these relationships, all right? And it's important to pay attention to this in your life, right? The quality of the relationships and how you are, how you show up in these relationships, and even the presence of them. And what do I mean by this? Because of the age that we're in, and because it's becoming so acceptable to be quarantined away, so many people are losing touch with other real humans, all right? And so this is really affecting mental, emotional, and spiritual health. And this is, again, by design, because when you are suffering, it is so much more easier to control someone. So pay attention to the quality of your relationships. Notice, are you someone who really is standing for freedom? Or are you someone who's really just so tempted, all right, to be in this zone of safety and comfort and compliance because, well, for a lot of people, that is the behavior that they've always known. That's how they've always been. So it's only natural that they step into that. But for those of you who are called to really awaken and ascend, you're also called to make different choices. And sometimes these choices aren't easy, all right? We are not living in these easy times. And that's okay, because it is during these times that we really develop that emotional and spiritual discipline that is necessary for ascension. Because I'll be honest with you, ascension is not this lovely, simple process that's so easy, all right? It is a journey that at times it's tough, all right? It's become so popular in this modern day culture to speak about things that, you know, especially in the spiritual community, with, you know, speaking about things like discipline, right? Because people think, oh, it's meant to all be so easy and just happy-go-lucky. And if you meet those people who are sort of in that space underneath it, at least for me, I'm usually able to see the deep shadow that they have left unexplored, and how it actually controls them, and how it's sort of, they put up this facade of, you know, sunshine and roses and everything is great, and I'm just here, you know, raking myself to ascension. But ascension is it really is a powerful journey, all right? It really is a hero's journey. And in that, there's a lot of trials and tribulations. There's a lot of fun in it too, of course. But I know that if you're watching this video, chances are that you're already aware of these things. Again, do not be fooled and try to use a lot of these spiritual concepts to escape from what's really happening, because it's going to catch up with everyone. And so it is important to stay tuned up, tuned in, and connected, all right? And this doesn't mean that it will always be pleasant. Sometimes unpleasant experiences will be there, tough choices as well. But what we are rewarded with is that deep sense of freedom, all right? And that's when you are really ascending. So thank you for being here. Thank you for, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't. I will continue to share with you messages, uplifting messages on this channel, as well as a lot of different messages that have been coming forth from the seven. However, there are certain things that I will not be able to speak about here. So if you'd like to follow that Patreon link, and I'm also looking into some other ways, some other sites where I can speak more freely about certain things. Because we are at a very, very, very powerful time in human history, all right? It is a very powerful time. It is a bit of a dark time as well, but does not mean that it's a bad thing. Thank you, and I really appreciate you.